Hello friends! Today we're going to read a story called Planting a Rainbow by Lois Ehlert. In this storybook we're going to learn about all the different variety of plants that grow in our gardens, and they'll bloom at different times to provide food for our bee buddies, our butterflies, and our other pollinator pals to have food sources all spring, summer, and fall. I brought along a basket up behind me that has different types of plants that bloom at different times of the spring, summer, or fall. There's some yellow flowers in the basket that are called chrysanthemums. Chrysanthemums and or mums as they call them, and asters are a really important food source for our bee buddies in the fall when a lot of other flowers have finished blooming. So let's find out a little bit about different types of flowers that we can plant in our garden. Planting a rainbow. It just delights our senses. Every year, Mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. We have an orange tiger lily bulb, red tulip bulb, orange tulip bulb, yellow daffodil bulb, blue hyacinth bulb, purple crocus corms, and purple bearded iris rhizomes. And we plant them underground, and they will each bloom and take energy from the plants as they grow. Tulips and daffodils and crocuses and hyacinths are bulbs that we have to plant in the fall. They have to be underground in the chill of the winter cold in order to bloom in the spring. We notice that this bulb is much bigger than a regular seed, but inside that bulb is the baby plant waiting for the time to grow. Just like our baby plants and seeds, they need to have that period where they're sleeping until it's the right time to grow. These bulbs will rest underground in the cold of the winter, and then in the spring when the temperatures get warmer and we have melting snow and spring rains, they will start to send up a little shoot that's been sleeping inside the bulb all winter long. So let's watch them grow. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long. This is one of my favorite things to do in the winter. And here we see phlox, morning glories, zinnias, asters, cornflowers, marigolds, and daisies. Here's our pecan marigolds. These flowers will bloom throughout the summer to provide a good source of food for our pollinator pals in a rainbow of colors. We wait for spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. And now that it's sunny and warm outside, we see that the roots are growing down from those bulbs. And remember, the roots of the plants are like straws that the little plant can suck up food and water from the soil in order to create food for the little plant to grow. The green leaves that they're starting to grow absorb the sun's light to help the little plant grow. So look at our rainbow grow. These are what we call spring bulbs. And those bulbs are especially important for our bee buddies because remember, all winter long they've been living on that stored honey in their hive. And when they come out, they're hungry, searching for flowers that are blooming in the trees and on the ground, dandelions. So this is a very important food for our little pals after the long, cold winter. Then it's time to go to the garden center to select some seedlings. Here we see a rose bush And in this little red wagon, we see poppies, we see delphiniums, violets, pansies, ferns, and carnations. Those are perennial plants that will come back year after year without being replanted. I brought along a little black-eyed Susan perennial that we'll plant in the garden. Do you see how the center of the flower is dark brown and looks like a little hat inside the flower? Our bee buddies will pollinate those, and then the birds will eat the little seeds and scatter them around to plant more plants in the future. I also brought along a bulb that is growing up. These are lilies. The bulbs are planted down below, and now those stalks are growing up toward the sun, and we have those flower buds that are still closed, but with the sun's light, they'll uncurl their petals and send out their sweet smell to attract our pollinator pals. We sow the seeds, that means we plant the seeds, and set out our plants in the soil. Look at the great variety of flowers that we've planted to help provide good sources of food for our bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds, and to create a feast for our senses and for everyone who visits our garden. We watch the rainbow grow and grow. Look at, here's our pecan marigolds, here's our zinnias, morning glories, and they grow in a rainbow of colors too. Cornflowers, irises, daisies, phlox, and here's those tiger lilies. They're a cousin to the lily plant I just showed you, and each one is super important as a food source for our bees and butterflies. And they're also beautiful to look at and enjoy. They grow. Here we see the orange, we see red, yellow, blue, purples, pinks, and grow. We have some red flowers. Here we see tulips, we see carnations, and roses. Roses grow in all different colors too. We have some orange flowers. Here we see an orange tulip. We see an orange zinnia. We see that orange tiger lily. This is kind of a peachy colored lily. How beautiful will that be in our storybook garden? And we see orange poppies, like from the Wizard of Oz. And we have some yellow blooms. We have daisies, like our yellow daisy here. We have yellow marigolds. Remember, marigolds grow in yellow, orange, red, and white. And we see yellow and orange daffodils. We grow something green. Here we have those beautiful ferns, and we can see that fiddlehead, which will unfurl with all those leaves to help the ferns grow. All of the plants have some green because those green leaves and stems absorb the sun's light to help the little plant grow. And we have some blue flowers, our morning glories, delphiniums, hyacinths, which smell like heaven, and cornflowers. Cornflowers can grow in pinks and purples and whites too. And we have some purple flowers too, crocuses, phlox. Oh, phlox smells so beautiful. Iris, violets, asters, which bloom a lot in the fall to provide important food for our bees and butterflies. And here's our darling little pansies, which send loving thoughts out to you. Each flower has a special meaning it wants to share with you. We'll learn more about that later. All summer long, we pick them and bring them home. Look at what a beautiful bouquet to share with family and friends. And we're able to grow all of these because of seeds that the bees and butterflies and hummingbirds help to create with their gift of pollination. And also bulbs that we can plant. And when summer is over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year, because in the fall we collect the seeds and split the bulbs and replant them for our spring harvest. What a wonderful, wonderful gift of Mother Earth to provide food and beauty to everyone that enters our garden.